Here's a simple enough video on how to tie a Wolf River fly. One of my favorites is going to be a purple and chartreuse fly, and typically I like to start out with an undercoating of a thread along with a little bit of tinsel just for added attraction. I've been using this fly pretty much for the last 5 years, almost exclusively. Normally I like to start out with simple purple and chartreuse, kind of a little accent color underneath. You don't need too much. Usually I do, for this little tail piece, about 3 strands, somewhere in about 2-inch range. And fold it over, simple enough. And then tie this down. So I like to do my flies in 2 steps. One is this, and then I add a little bit of super glue. Kind of gives a grip for a second layer, and just adds a little bit of attraction to it. So simply enough, I set it off to the side. Kind of see what I've started with. A couple different colors. So the next step is our pre-finished one. These are ones I worked on last night. Again, start with our pink thread. Kind of lock this in. And small amount of glue just to lock the threads down. Typically this is going to be the color I like as my undercoat. If anyone's fished the white bass run in the past, you know less is more with the flies. Typically my flies are about 2 inches long. And I try to thin out my coat just to make, so I kind of line everything up so we have that much bucktail to start with. Pull out a couple hairs that are just a little scraggly or a little too long. And then, simple enough, our purple. One thing to note, the biggest thing to know when you're buying bucktail online, there's your standard purple, which is what I like, and then bright purple. To me, it's a little bit more blue tinged. I'm not as much of a fan. That's kind of personal preference. But typically, I just like this regular standard purple. Again, very similar amount of bucktail we're going to take for the next part of the fly. So again, I like to line up the amount of hair I have. Trim off, so nice, easy amount to work with. And again, a couple strands of our tinsel for added attraction. Usually I make these a little bit longer for the top, somewhere around 3 to 4 inches. And then again, these are folded over. This is where we start with, and then kind of build our head to finish everything off. Everyone does theirs slightly different. This is how I've been doing mine for the last several years. Keeps things nice and efficient. Personally, I like this color. Generally, anytime I'm dealing in river situations, I catch plenty of walleye on it as well. I've used it anywhere from central Illinois all the way up to Canada. I don't like to get fancy with epoxies or anything like that. I find that it takes too much time, and typically it seems like it gives a little sticky residue on the head. So simple enough. Go back with super glue, let this kind of dry. Let it dry overnight. And it's ready to go in the morning. These are assortment of colors of flies I utilize for both walleye and white bass on the run, and generally below dams as well.